What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformer collectors, 1/12 scale collectors, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And we are doing another three things. And this is X-Transbots, Bun James, of their version of Punch, a Counterpunch. If you are new to the channel, first off, welcome. But to my longtime viewers and subscribers, you guys know I bash X-Transbots every chance I get. I've publicly said I've hated them. I've done a video saying why I wouldn't buy another one of their products, and just countless times I've dissed them. Every time I get a chance to diss them, I diss them. So I'm sure you're wondering, why do I have an X-Transbots product? Well, for my birthday, my wife bought me TFCon tickets and an airplane ticket to go to TFCon, and I told her, I basically didn't have anything I wanted to buy. She said, I didn't buy you those tickets not to get anything, so you need to find something to buy and bring back. And so this was probably the only thing that's in the wheelhouse of stuff I collect, meaning MP Transformers, that, I was vaguely curious in, even though I hate the company. So with her mandate, I got this or whatever. So this is why we're looking at it. So again, if you're new, three things are what we say: three things we like about the figure, three things we don't like about the figure, and we kind of give a synopsis. So let's go on and get started. The first thing I like about the figure is the alt mode, and I'll put a picture up on the screen. I think the alt mode is absolutely gorgeous. I think it looks like a Pontiac Fiero. You know the car when you see it. You know it looks like a real life car. It has some panel lines, but not too many obstruction panel lines. It does the lights and the doors opening, which, I could take that part or leave it. Like, the only issue I have is a minor issue. I wish they would have covered up the bottom where the face is. But I think the car mode is a solid A. I think it's arguably fantastic or whatever. So that's the first thing I like about it. The second thing I like about it is the paint. I think the paint is really, really, really well done. Not flawless, not, fans toys level paint, but pretty close. That blue is breathtaking. The yellow is done really well. The accents are done. X-Transbots always do the accents really well. Those chrome red wheels, I love them, or what. I know everybody isn't a fan of them, but I love them. So I think that the way they painted this was fantastic or whatever. I think I think they did a bang up job on that. And I also think the third thing I like about it is how they got so close to the cartoon model. Now, I'm not a big Toon Tickles person. I actually would prefer the Japanese version because it has a little more painted and sculpted detail. But I'm not a Toon Tickles person. But I can acknowledge that they found their way to make this thing look very close on to the cartoon model. Now I found the image and put that up on the screen too. So I got to give them kudos for that. So the three things I like about it are the alt mode, the paint, and the sculpt, how they got so close to the cartoon model. Let's dive into what I don't like about it. So the main thing, the primary thing I don't like about it is the gimmick doesn't work. So kind of the, he's a double spy. It doesn't work. So it doesn't work for multiple reasons. One, you can't, on my version at least, I can't swap the head and hide the face. Even the G1 hid the face with the movable plate. And like the fact that they weren't able to hide the faces. Yeah, I know it's a hack where you can turn the Punch face around, the Autobot face around. But my Decepticon face wouldn't move. And, that just is, for a masterpiece, that's inexcusable. And nobody's talked about this in the reviews I've seen. You can't put decals on him because the decals don't hide. So basically, when you flip him around, if you put decals on him, you see the other side. So like that whole, the illusion of it, like it kind of throws that illusion of, hey, it's it's a secret spy because you can see the other faction logos on the back or whatever. So that whole suspension of disbelief, it doesn't do anything related to that. It actually should have it has a flapping alt mode where you can kind of have the both faction symbols, but they should have had it in bot mode for each side, so where you can flip the faction symbols around. Like, I think that's a huge miss about that. Again, not being able to hide the faces naturally and just having to do a hack is a huge miss for that. The articulation suffers because of it's trying to do two figures in one. So like, ultimately the thing it's designed to do doesn't work. Like, the whole point of this character is he can be seen as two characters in one, and they don't do it. They do it, but they do a piss poor job of it. It doesn't work. So that's the first thing I don't like about it. The second thing I don't like about it, and I think Influence said this, is like they need new designers. Like, I'm gonna show a picture. Like, in the first part of the transformation, you need to pop out. It's a tab. It's a tab by the front of the door, and I'm gonna put a picture up there just to show you. Like, you have to pop that out, and like it should have been a button on top of that. Like, it shouldn't have been just a tab. It should have been a button, something spring loaded that you push in, because like the materials can barely hold up to it. Like, it feels like you're gonna break your figure. And in typical X-Transbots figure, they are bending plastics around plastics, certain things or whatever. Like things that they've been doing for the past 8, 10, however many years they've been doing, they're still doing it and they haven't improved from it. And this leads to the third thing I don't like, which is the general fit and finish of it. And it seems like X-Transbots just, hey, we've exceeded costs. We're not going to put any extra cost to make this in the building. We're going to talk about that later in this video. But it's like everything, place doesn't have a thing, everything doesn't have a place, things aren't tight where they need to be. Just kind of that pride in your work type thing X-Transbots doesn't do. It's like them turning in that homework with ketchup on it, mustard, and just like, take pride in your work or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they don't take pride in their work. So the three things I don't like is the double agent gimmick, that tab by the front door, and the overall general fit and finish of it. So that leads to kind of this, like, the best thing I can say about this figure is that I was so ready to trash this thing and rip it a new one when I first opened the box. And I honestly can't. I mean, it's not a good figure by no means. It's not a okay figure. Is if you just want a representation of your collection and just need something there, it does that. And it does it, it doesn't do it horribly. So, normally to me, X-Transbots makes F figures. This is probably a D plus, which is a step up for them, conceptually. And I think that the bigger problem with them is that they bite off more than they can chew and don't want to spend the money to get to that next hump, right? So like, this was $100, and this thing probably should have been 125, 130, and they could have fixed all the other stuff. They could have added more flaps or tabs so you could flip and show the different signals. They could have hid the face. They could have, did better QC and stuff like that. And if this is their lot in life, they're going to be, hey, we're going to be the great value brand to fans towards name brand. Then, the community needs to accept that and understand what comes with that. I think they need to flip and actually put more money into it, charge a little bit more, and make a better product. Anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking. This is just what I thought about it. Thank you guys as always.